It looks like Christmas came a whole week early this year. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the various components that I'll be putting in my new rig. So please stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy The Juice. Today I'll be sharing with you guys the various components I'll be putting into my new rig. I have everything lined up on the table right there. Please disregard my cable management. I disrupt everything when I started taking down stuff. So after I'm finished putting the computer back together, I am gonna make my cable management decent again. And secondly, this video is not sponsored by any one of these companies, unfortunately. If you look at my subscribers amount, you'll notice that I'm not large enough to really get any sponsors at this time. Hopefully that would change. Just to give you a bit of a background, for those of you who are not familiar with my channel, well, I am a gamer. My first gaming rig I built back in 2013, I think it was. Back then I built a 3900K rig with all the various upscale components. At the time it was a very good computer. It lasted me until now. I recently started using it as a streaming computer to go with this computer there that I use for gaming, but it decided to give up the Holy Ghost, unfortunately, and I troubleshoot the problem, and it appears as if the problem is somewhere between the motherboard and the actual processor. So I decided to use this time to upgrade that rig and have it as my official secondary computer. So without rambling anymore, let's get straight into the parts. So rather than using the same case, I decided to get a new case, which is the Corsair 680X. It's a dual chamber computer case. The front chamber, you could expose all of your internal parts with the tempered glass, and what's not, there's ample space in there for radiators and fans and everything. The back chamber is where you store the hard drives, the wires, as well as your power supply. I really like this case, not only because of the space it gives, but also the fact that it has a USB Type-C port, which is right there. A lot of my other devices, I'm really making the transition to USB Type-C, especially for hard drives. So I'm welcoming that addition. For the processor, I decided to go with the RYZEN 3900X, I think it is, or 3900. It's a 12-core, 24-thread processor. I'm usually an Intel guy, but I decided to go with the Ryzen. I really wanted the 3950X, but at the time of this shooting, or making this video, there was none in stock. And then when it finally got in stock, I had already purchased this one, and the price of the 3950X was like $1,200 or $1,300. Now I can't justify buying a processor for that amount, especially knowing that it's overpriced by about what, $500. So yes, I decided to just stick with the 3900, and I think that would more than likely meet my needs for what I want out of this rig. For the memory, I really ordered the 3600 megahertz DDR4 memory from Corsair, but for some reason the seller sent me 3200, so I did communicate with him or her, and they did recognize the error, so they're in the process of sending me the new one, and I'm gonna send back this. But my overall goal is to have at least 64 gigabytes of memory, but I'm gonna start off with 32. For the processor, I'm actually using the ROG Corsair 8 Hero Wi-Fi version. This processor has everything I need in terms of USB connections, the high-speed wireless as well as Ethernet connection. Overclocking is quite easy on this motherboard, so for those reasons I've decided to go with this version as opposed to another brand. For storage space, this here I made an error, not the seller. I really wanted the 970 EVO Pro, but I made a mistake and I got the regular EVO, so I've since reordered the Pro, and it's scheduled to arrive, if not today, by tomorrow. But I'm still gonna use this one as well. I'll have dual SSDs NVMe in the motherboard, which it does support. I just need to double check and make sure that it won't limit me to just a RAID configuration. I would prefer to have 2 different hard drives in the motherboard. And then my regular SSDs are regular 860 EVO, 2 terabyte each. In my old rig, those hard drives are still decent. I think I have a 1 terabyte SSD, as well as about 2 or 3 regular hard drives, 4 terabyte each. So I'm gonna recycle those and use them in this rig. For the graphics card, I decided to go with the 2080 Ti Black version, or Black Edition from EVGA. Anyone who knows anything about computer know that this graphics card is a beast. You could throw any game at it, and it won't show any signs of stress or anything of that nature. It's easy overclockable. Now I was between minds of putting this graphics card in my existing rig, which has a 1080 Ti, but I've decided, you know what, let's just stick with everything that's new in this build, and hopefully if I ever get money again, I'll upgrade that 1080 Ti to something that's more modern in that time. For the cooling system, I decided to go with the 115i Platinum from Corsair. As you could see, I really do like Corsair products. They never failed me so far. But again, I got the 280 radiator. I bought a few extra RGB fans, 140, and I bought a single 120 RGB because the computer case comes with 4 fans. 3 of them are RGB, but for some reason Corsair decided to cheap out and have the exhaust fan at the back as a regular fan. So I've decided to change that to our RGB fan. And of course, last but not least, I have some Lighten Pro, because the case is equipped with the connections for RGB lighting. Now you would notice that I don't have a power supply because I'm gonna recycle the one in the old system and see how that works. The monitor, I'll still be using my LG 32-inch monitor, which is a curved monitor. Now the main reason for this build is for the purpose of a workstation, not so much gaming, although I will be doing some gaming on it. But the majority of my gaming will be done on this rig, which right now has a i99K overclocked to like 5 gigahertz. As I mentioned, it has a 1080 Ti. I think I have about 64 gigabytes of memory in there as well too, so that is pretty souped up. Now if you are interested in me doing a desk review of what I use, or to show my workflow, please let me know and I'll make a separate video of that. Yeah, so these are the parts that I'm going to be using in my new rig. Now in my next video I'm going to do a time lapse of me actually putting the system together. So if you are interested in seeing that, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell to make sure you get that notification of when the video comes out. If you didn't like it, you can hit that dislike button as well too. You can let me know what you didn't like. Let me know what you're using or what I should have done differently. So until next time, peace.